camera fades in on a luxurious rooftop patio overlooking the city skyline. A well-dressed man in his 40s, with twin children by his side, speaks directly into the camera. His eyes are calm, but his voice is raw with truth. I had everything: wealth, recognition, power. But the moment she walked away, I realized I had nothing. This is the story of how pretending to be broke led me to find what I never knew I needed, and how my children became the mirror to my soul. Chapter 1. The CEO. With everything except love, Noah Grant was the kind of man headlines loved. Founder and CEO of one of the fastest growing tech empires in Silicon Valley, his face graced business magazines. His keynote speeches went viral, and investors worshipped his vision. But behind the closed doors of his minimalist glass mansion, silence echoed louder than applause. His twins, Caleb and Chloe, were six-sharp, curious, and energetic, but they rarely saw their father outside of scheduled breakfasts or the occasional weekend play date with Dad. Their nanny, Martha, had practically become their mother figure. That Noah had lost his wife to a tragic car crash 3 years earlier. Since then, his heart had become a fortress, surrounded by profit margins, quarterly goals, and isolation disguised as ambition. He wasn't lonely. At least that's what he told himself. Until one Friday night, Chloe asked, "Daddy, how come all the other kids' moms come to school, but we never see anyone with you?" Noah didn't have an answer. That question haunted him more than any boardroom failure ever could. Chapter 2. The blind date setup. Martha, ever wise and bold, had enough. One day, after the twins' school recital, she cornered Noah. "You're not just lonely, Noah. You're scared and hiding behind your money. I signed you up for a blind date." He scoffed. "You did what?" "I didn't use your name. You're just Noah, single dad of 2. She thinks you're a freelance app developer barely making rent." "That's absurd. I don't lie." "Exactly. Which is why you've never met anyone real in 3 years. They fall in love with your empire, not your emptiness." Noah didn't agree. But later that night, when Caleb crawled into bed and whispered, "Dad, why do you always look sad when we're happy?" he changed his mind. He agreed to the date, but under one condition: he'd take the twins with him. If someone was to be a part of their life, they had to meet them first. Chapter 3. The Cafe and the Stranger. The cafe was quaint, nestled between a laundromat and a bookstore, the kind of place no billionaire would be caught dead in. Noah wore jeans and a thrifted jacket. Chloe held his hand. Caleb clung to his arm-dot. She was already there. Her name was Emily. She wasn't model beautiful. She was something better, authentic. Kind eyes, freckles across her cheeks, and a look that said she'd been through storms and chose to dance anyway. Smiled at the twins first. "I brought cookies. Is that okay?" They nodded. Instantly, a bond sparked between them. The conversation was awkward at first. Noah found himself fumbling over small talk and fake details, something he never did in the boardroom. Emily talked about her job as a music therapist at a rehab center. Her father had suffered from addiction, and music saved his life, so she made it her mission to help others heal the same way. Noah listened more than he spoke. When Emily asked, "So, what do you do?" he hesitated. "I'm building an app to help kids with learning disabilities." It wasn't a total lie. His company had just invested in one. But the look in her eyes when he said it, the respect, the curiosity, not the calculation, made him feel something he hadn't in years. Peace. Chapter 4. The connection deepens. Over the next few weeks, they met again and again, always at modest places. Always with the twins. Emily brought puzzles, taught them ukulele, and even helped Chloe with a school project. She never once asked about Noah's money, his car, or his house. She didn't know. What she did know was his kids loved her. And maybe so did he. But every moment of joy came with a growing shadow. The truth, Noah was lying. And it was getting harder to carry. One night, as they sat under the stars in her tiny apartment courtyard, Emily said something that stopped him cold. "I don't care how much a man makes. I care what makes him him. What he loves, what he fears, what he won't say." Noah nearly confessed everything right then. But his phone buzzed. A major acquisition deal had gone public, and his face was all over the news. Emily saw it first. 5. The fallout. The next day, Emily didn't respond to texts. When Noah showed up at the rehab center with flowers and an apology. She met him outside. "You lied to me." "I didn't mean to. I wanted to be seen. Just me, not the CEO." She shook her head, eyes full of pain. "Then why didn't you trust me enough to tell me the truth?" "I didn't want to lose you. You did that the moment you thought. I couldn't love a man who was honest." And with that, she walked away. The twins cried that night. Chloe wouldn't speak to him. Caleb asked, "Did you break Emily's heart?" Noah didn't sleep for days. Chapter 6. Redemption through realness. Weeks passed. Noah pulled away from work. He canceled investor trips, focused on therapy for him and the twins, began volunteering at the rehab center anonymously, sorting books and building shelves. He didn't go there to win Emily back. He went because he needed to heal. Months passed. Emily saw him one day, wiping tables, chatting with patients. No cameras. No show. Just Noah. She didn't say anything. Not yet, but the next week, she left him a letter in the break room. "You can't build love on lies, but you can rebuild truth on humility. If you're ready to start from zero, so am I." Chapter 7. The New Beginning. 1 year later, the scene is very different. The rooftop from the beginning, that's where Noah, Emily, and the twins now live. A blended family grounded not in wealth, but worth. Emily didn't move into his mansion. Instead, they built a modest home together designed by the twins. Full of color and laughter, Noah now speaks at youth centers, teaching boys what real strength is, vulnerability. He started a non-profit with Emily to help recovering addicts. Re-enter the workforce using tech training. And the empire? Still standing. But Noah no longer sits above it. He walks among it. Final scene. Back to the hook. Back on the rooftop. Noah holds Chloe and Caleb close. "You asked me once, why do? You look sad when we're happy?" He says, choking up, "Because I didn't know what happiness meant. I thought I needed to be seen as strong. But the strongest thing I ever did was admit I was lost." He looks into the camera. To anyone watching this, don't. Wait until life breaks you to get honest. Let love in, even if it costs your pride. Because when you strip away the money, the masks, the fears, what's left is who you really are. And that version of you deserves to be loved too.